You heard about those, the executive order from Donald Trump, the president, and the new immigration restrictions. You've seen the protests across the country, a lot of them right here in New York, at the airport, in Battery Park. And this has affected, we're told, hundreds of thousands of people, these new immigration restrictions for 7 countries like Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. But we have some questions about what this really means and what it doesn't mean.
Yeah. Thousands of protesters gathered outside JFK Airport on Saturday night. Lawyers for the ACLU won a major victory in Brooklyn's federal court. A judge issued a stay preventing refugees and immigrants from being deported under the executive order. But still a lot of confusion going on and concern that the judge's ruling is not being enforced. We are joined by the president and CEO of the Independent Women's Voice, Heather Higgins. Nice to have you here on Good Day New York.
Nice to be with you both.
So where does it stand right now? What if you're coming from one of these 7 countries right now into JFK, what happens?
Well, you probably aren't coming. The point is that this is not about deportations of people who are already here. It is about creating a window for them to review and revise the vetting procedures, particularly from countries which are known to be problematic in the training and exporting of terrorism. And so one of the challenges that we have is that there are lots of really wonderful people in all of these countries, but there are also lots of people who are problems, and we don't know and have the ability to sort out who is who. So just as Obama did in 2011 with a 6-month stay on entry from Iraq, there's been a temporary ban on people coming from these countries.
Why wasn't there a major protest when President Obama did that? I don't recall quite an uproar like this.
Because it was Obama, it wasn't Trump, so it wasn't a fundraising opportunity.
Well, it was 2011. It was one country. It was Iraq, and right. I think there was that was before our complete withdrawal, correct?
Yes.
That was before we had American troops on the ground. All right, a couple of things here. Even those, and it sounds like you're sympathetic to what the president did, they feel that it was clumsily enacted at best, that the key people were not consulted. The outgoing head of immigration in the Obama administration was not consulted. It's the kind of thing you would do when you're thinking about undertaking something this big.
You would think that they had consulted people, and it does sound like that particular person may not have been consulted, but they did consult others. And the reason that they are giving for implementing it the way they did without a grace or warning period was their view is, look, if you are a terrorist and you're planning to come here and you suddenly hear that in several days this ban will be on, you move up your time schedule and you get here before that happens. You don't want to give them a warning.
I want to put up that map one more time. You'll notice the countries that are affected by this ban and then those that aren't, and there are a lot. Saudi Arabia, Rosanna mentioned earlier, and we all know that most of the hijackers came from Saudi Arabia. We've had problems within Pakistan, although Pakistan is technically an ally of ours. There are a lot of countries that are not affected. So if you actually espouse these kinds of tough immigration procedures and policies, why not have more countries?
I think that the Trump administration might have wanted to include those, but I think that it thought that politically it was smartest to go with the countries that Obama himself had already put on the watch list as being problematic sources of terrorism. So if you ask the ACLU, well, then why don't you include Saudi Arabia, they will then fess up that their view is that there should be no bans on any countries at all. That's not exactly a good way to get towards a better vetting procedure.
We heard, though, so many heartbreaking stories about what happened at the airport. One little girl, 5 years old, kept from her parents several hours while they figured out this vetting process. And some students who had green cards who should have been, let in, but kind of caught up in all of this. I mean, too fast, too soon. Do we need a vetting, a better vetting service than we have right now?
Yes, we definitely need better vetting. Yes, everybody's hearts go out to the individuals who were improperly detained or the fact that they had these hours of anxiety. But ultimately, the executive order did, in fact, allow individual discretion where people are, safe to come through, or they're interpreters, or there's somebody who really has been an ally of the United States. And in the long run, in any policy like this, there's going to be individual hardship, but you have to weigh it against the greater security concerns that Americans have.
You have said, I believe, that part of this and the hysteria might be orchestrated and part of a fundraising push.
Well, I did, because as soon as you hear somebody say Muslim ban, you look at it and you go, that if this is a Muslim ban, it is the most inept Muslim ban ever.
Why?
Well, if you look at the 10 largest Muslim countries, only one of them, Iran, is in this list. If you look at the 53 Muslim countries, only 7 of them, who were the ones that Obama had said were real problems, were on this list. It's clearly not about being Muslim. In fact, a lot of the people who are persecuted are Muslim.
You do remember, though, during the campaign, Donald Trump initially did say Muslims. That's how he put it. He said Muslims. He didn't say countries. He said Muslims.
Of course, and Donald Trump had a lot of campaign rhetoric, but as a lot of people who were watching him said, when he gets to the actual implementation, the rhetoric is going to be changed for policies that are actually constitutional and workable and get to the larger concerns.
Do you think this is a good thing right now? Do you think that they should scale back until they really figure out how they want to handle our borders?
I think that this policy makes a lot of sense. You need a period to review the vetting procedures. There are, in fact, stricter vetting procedures that our own Department of Homeland Security, even though they had helped pay to develop them, and they're now applied in Singapore and Israel and in Indonesia, they don't use them because they're worried about being too invasive of the privacies of people who are potentially coming here for residence.
That's strange.
It is strange, isn't it?
Heather Higgins, could you tell us briefly about the Independent Women's Voice?
Independent Women's Voice and Independent Women's Forum are 2 Washington-based groups that are policy groups speaking to independents and mainstream women everywhere on a wide range of policy issues.
Heather Higgins, everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you for being